Trustee Berger.
Here.
Trustee Garvey.
Here.
Trustee Zalick.
Here.
Trustee Gieser.
Here.
Trustee Fruzzoloni. Trustee McCarthy.
Here.
Mayor Severino.
Here. Please stand and face the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Their motion to approve the minutes of our June 20th, 2022 Village Board meeting.
So moved. Second.
Moved by Trustee McCarthy, seconded by Trustee Zalick. Clerk, call the roll, please.
Trustee Berger.
Abstain.
Trustee Garvey.
Aye.
Trustee Zalick.
Aye.
Trustee Gieser.
Aye.
Trustee McCarthy.
Aye.
Under listening posts, we have, first thing on the agenda is a Police Department recognition of Public Works employee Paul Triplett and Police Officer Pablo Castro. The chief's already at the podium.
Thank you, Mayor Severino and village trustees. I'm glad we could have a little fun tonight, and thank you for spending some time with us touring the Blue Scoop ice cream trailer, and of course, having a sample tonight. I wasn't supposed to keep that a secret, right? Let me tell you a little bit about it. I'm going to be brief. I can't guarantee you that Officer Castro in his speech will be brief, but I'm going to be very brief. Blue Scoop was the idea of Officer Pablo Castro and funded entirely by donations. Quite frankly, it represents another way to reach out to the community, specifically children, to enhance police-community relationships. I have to tell you that I'm impressed daily by the outreach efforts and professionalism of our police officers. The Blue Scoop project was special because it provided an opportunity to collaborate with our Public Works Department. Specifically, we want to recognize tonight Public Works mechanic Paul Triplett for his help because he went above and beyond to make this project successful. In the police department, we often recognize great performance through what's called a commendatory letter. We've prepared a commendatory letter for Paul, which I'm going to read and present to him along with a gift card for our appreciation. If I could ask Paul to come on up here with me while I read it. So this commendatory letter presented to mechanic Paul Triplett. The police department thanks Carroll Stream Public Works mechanic Paul Triplett with this commendatory letter for his creativity and collaboration with the police department. In the fall of last year, Officer Pablo Castro presented an idea for a new community outreach program. This idea proposed the purchase of a trailer and ice cream cart to be used at various community events. While planning the project, we realized that significant customization to the trailer was going to be necessary, and using an outside vendor was going to be cost prohibitive. Officer Castro discussed the project with the Public Works mechanics. Paul immediately volunteered to take on the extensive custom work. However, Paul wasn't content with the minimum work that would have been acceptable. He came up with new and innovative ideas to improve the use of the trailer while making its use more convenient and safe for our officers. For example, he designed and installed a custom winch system to assist in removing and reinstalling the cart. He also designed and installed a custom electrical system to power the winch and emergency lighting, custom flooring, and a step box to hide all of the components while enabling easy access to the inside of the cart. Although much of this work was outside of his typical duties, Paul worked hard to complete this project before the start of summer without compromising the quality of the project. The Blue Scoop program has been a great success and would not have come to fruition without Paul's enthusiasm, dedication, and hard work. Paul Triplett is hereby recognized by the Carroll Stream Police Department for his enthusiastic support of community outreach and the Blue Scoop program. Thank you. And where do I start with Officer Castro? Officer Castro's work goes far beyond the ice cream trailer, as we all know. In fact, you know he was recently selected as the Dare Officer of the Year for 2021 by the Illinois Dare Officers Association. I think we commented briefly on it a couple of weeks ago. In light of his accomplishment, I have a commendatory letter that I'd like to read and present to him, and after that, I've asked him to keep any speech, like I said, to under 30 minutes for you guys. Pablo, could you come up here, please? So this commendatory letter presented to Officer Pablo Castro. The Illinois Dare Officer Association has chosen Officer Pablo Castro as their 2021 Dare Officer of the Year. Officer Castro has been teaching the DARE and GREAT programs for several years as part of his duties as a school resource officer. He has expanded both programs to include every 5th grade class in Carroll Stream. Officer Castro also presents 2 classes in Spanish, and he presents to the kids at the Outreach Community Center program over the summer. However, one of the things that makes Officer Castro special is that his reach goes far beyond the classroom. Officer Castro has taken advantage of many opportunities to expand programming and outreach within Carroll Stream. He has developed programs like Superhero Day, Circle Time, an inclusive track event with special needs athletes, and most recently, the Blue Scoop ice cream trailer. He is always, and I mean always, looking for ways to connect with children and families to create strong, positive relationships with the community. It is clear that Officer Castro has a passion to teach, form relationships, and continuously look for new opportunities for positive contacts between the police and children. He is a leader and is well respected by his peers, students, teachers, and school administrators, and he has set a high standard of performance for others to follow. Officer Castro is hereby awarded this commendatory letter for his many years of tireless work within Carroll Stream, including his most recent recognition as the 2021 State of Illinois Dare Officer of the Year.
Come on, you don't want to...
Order him, chief.
I told you, keep it brief.
Yeah, go ahead.
Listening to both those letters just shows again that the cooperation that our departments have and how much we all work together. You guys, the idea was amazing, and Paul, the design, excellently done. And I just want to say I appreciate what you guys do for our community and all of our departments do. Again, without you guys, we're not here. So, again, thank you very much, and congratulations to you both.
Anyone else?
Well, I worked alongside Pablo for many years, and, you know, he, as a police officer, you know, he was good, but he took off. As a DARE officer, he took off, and you found your calling. I mean, you definitely brought today's youth closer to the police department, and now we have a working with the youth instead, and you got them before they got a bad impression of the police. So, great job. And Paul, you're always at the garage and willing to do anything and everything. Whenever we stopped in on Friday, if a headlight was out, you dropped everything. I mean, you are there for us, and so, like Trustee McCarthy said, that it just shows the great inner workings of this village, and it's all for the community. So thank you very much.
Just congratulations to both of you. It's a terrific thing. I was driving by one day at the library, and I see this gaggle of adults and kids all around the flashing lights. So it's a successful thing, and thank you very much. And Paul, thank you for craft. I mean, it's phenomenal to look at it. So thank you.
Paul, when I build something and I have instructions and I have all the pieces and the right sizes, extra parts, whatever it might be, I still can't build it right. So just looking at that trailer out there and everything you did with that, it's like a work of art. So it might be routine for you, but it's very impressive to a guy like me. And for Officer Castro, just always hearing good things about the work that you're doing. I'm always seeing the good work that you're doing, and it's great that between the two of you, we had some great teamwork.
Anybody else?
Yeah, I'd like to add, I just want to say how proud I am to live in Carroll Stream, where we have such excellence in multiple departments. Officer Castro, I just couldn't admire you anymore for all the work that you do and your outreach. And Mr. Trippett, it really was superior work, excellent work, and I appreciate your co-working between the departments. Thank you both very much.
That's it? I'm the only one left?
Yep.
Wonderful job, guys, believe me when I tell you. You know how I feel about your cart. every time you give an ice cream bar to a kid, hopefully he'll see that badge and he'll see that uniform, and he'll get the right impression instead of the wrong impression that they see on the news most of the time. To bring the youth closer to our police department is a big step for us in Carroll Stream. So thank you for the idea for the cart. Thank you for Public Works and Paul for building the cart. Thank you, Phil, for letting them have the time to do that, and I'm sure the parts came from someplace out of, we don't know that, take an old trailer apart, whatever you did, but thank you. That's really what this town is all about, so thank you. Okay. Next is introduction of administrative intern Gracie Trajani. Did I say that right, Trajani? I did? It's the first time in 15 years I got one right.
Grace, you want to come up? So some of you may remember as part of our strategic planning sessions and the board strategic goals, the idea came up that the village may benefit from having an intern in administration. And we were very fortunate. We went to Northern Illinois University and connected with their Masters of Public Administration program. And we were able to meet many qualified candidates, and we were very lucky to get our top pick, Grace, and have her on our team. She'll be helping us with a variety of areas, including communications, as well as risk management, and we'll be making sure she has the opportunity to work with each department so she can learn more about public service and also just gain a wide range of perspectives over the next 2 years that we get to have her on our team. If you could take a few moments.
Thank you. Good evening, everybody.
Good.
My name is Grace Trajani. As Tia mentioned, I am about to start the MPA program at NIU in August. I moved in here in the States almost 14 years ago, and Carroll Stream was my first hometown, so I was very excited when this offer came, and it came from Carroll Stream.
Well, welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome aboard. You heard me say that when I first met you in the office. We're very glad to have you here, and I'm sure everything will work out really good, so thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Welcome.
Trustee Zalick, you didn't have a question for?
It wasn't a pleasure.
Okay, Grace, every new employee I ask if you're a Cubs fan or a Sox fan. Do you watch baseball or like baseball at all?
I do.
Cubs or Sox?
Cubs.
You're going to need to leave.
I hope you enjoyed your time
I'm
here.
sorry it didn't work out.
I'm sorry, I didn't feel complete until he asked that question.
That's all right. That means Ricky loves you. That's it.
Okay.
All right, sit down.
You happy? See, now you'll be
Now you know. Now we know.
Okay. Okay, under listening posts, we have addresses from the audience tonight. We have nothing from the internet, is that correct?
That is correct.
We have nothing from the internet, and we have one in Frank Carboni. I'd like to talk about fences, rules that were passed in July. So you understand before you say anything, being it's not on the agenda, we can't really say we like it, don't like it, or anything, but we'll listen, and then it'll be up to administrative to do whatever has to be done.
Correct.
It's all yours.
Yes. Like you said, my name is Frank Jambroni. I just want to discuss the new rule that was passed recently this year in beginning of July. The rule states materials for fences that back up to a public street or on an exterior side yard of a through lot must be made from pressure-treated cedar tone wood or wood composite. They must also be shadow box style. I do appreciate the village trying to make the town look as nice as possible by having all the fences along the roads match. There is, however, I counted over 20 houses along Lies Road alone that have vinyl fencing already. And given the durability of the vinyl fences, it's going to take a very long time for eventually have all the fences match. Given the fact that this rule is passed only for cosmetic reasons, I'm urging you to reconsider the fence rule because it takes away the residents of Carroll Stream's ability to choose what fence fits their needs. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there a motion to establish a consent agenda?
So moved?
Second?
Moved by trustee Geezer, seconded by trustee McCarthy. Clerk, call the roll, please.
Trustee Berger.
Aye.
Trustee Garvey.
Aye.
Trustee Zalick.
Aye.
Trustee Geezer.
Aye.
Trustee McCarthy.
Aye.
Madam Clerk, would you please read what is on the consent agenda?
Certainly. Board and Commission reports. Plan Commission Zoning Board of Appeals. Family Life Christian Center, 362 South Schmale Road. Special use permit to operate as a place of worship. Recommended approval with conditions 4-0.
Yes.
Yes.
Staff reports and recommendations. 2021 pavement patching project. Approval of balancing change order number 1 and final payment to Chicagoland Paving Contractors, Inc. in the amount of $48,330.06 for the 2021 pavement patching project.
Yes.
Yes.
Kehoe Boulevard Stream Bank Stabilization, Section 1. Approval of an amending the professional services agreement with Hay and Associates, Inc. in accordance with the village's purchasing procedures policy and Section 5-8-3 of the Village Code for construction engineering services in the not-to-exceed cost plus fixed fee amount of $3,000.
Yes.
Yes.
Special award letter for the Coon Road Bike Path. Approval of a special award letter to the Illinois Department of Transportation indicating our concurrence with award of the contract by IDOT to R.W. Dunteman Company for the Coon Road Bike Path.
Yes.
Yes.
Authorization for the purchase and delivery of diffuser membranes and associated parts from Environmental Dynamics International in the amount of $186,384 pursuant to the provisions of Sections 5-8-3B and 5-8-14C of the Carroll Stream Code of Ordinances.
Yes.
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 Approval of the Carroll Stream Chamber of Commerce request for a temporary waiver to the Code of Ordinances to allow for the installation of a 24-square-foot off-premises banner at 3 locations to advertise their upcoming annual fundraiser golf outing on September 22nd, 2022.
Yes.
Yes.
Ordinances. Ordinance approving a special use permit for a place of worship and a shared parking facility permit.
Yes.
Yes.
That is ordinance number 2022-07-34. Ordinance amending Chapter 11, Article 2 of the Carroll Stream Code of Ordinances by increasing the number of Class VC liquor licenses from 3 to 4. Silver Oaks Army Trail, Inc., doing business as Tracy's 6, 720 West Army Trail Road.
Off.
That has been pulled off the consent agenda by trustee Garvey. Resolutions. Resolution declaring surplus property owned by the Village of Carroll Stream, Public Works Unit 27-2000 GMC Savannah 2500 van.
Yes.
That is resolution number 3256. Resolution declaring surplus property owned by the Village of Carroll Stream, Patrol Squads 635 and 672.
Yes.
Yes.
That is resolution number 3257. Resolution declaring surplus property owned by the Village of Carroll Stream, designated electronic equipment surplus, which will be recycled and/or sold through Digital Red and Lynx buyback.
Yes.
Yes.
That is resolution number 3258. Resolution amending resolution number 3243, adopting the 2022-2023 Employee Compensation Plan. Approval of an amendment to the 2022-2023 Employee Compensation Plan to delete the part-time planning technician position authorized with the adoption of the fiscal year 2022-23 Employee Compensation Plan and add a full-time assistant planner position in the Community Development Department.
Yes.
Yes.
That is resolution number 3259. Resolution approving and authorizing the execution of an easement encroachment agreement between the Village of Carroll Stream and Steve and Ariel Osborne for a proposed shed at 970 Hillcrest Drive, PIN number 01-25-120-015.
Yes.
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 That is resolution number 3260. Resolution authorizing the execution of an intergovernmental agreement by and between the County of DuPage, Illinois, and the Village of Carroll Stream for the Klein Creek Stream Bank Stabilization Section 1 project.
Yes.
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 That is resolution number 3261. Resolution authorizing the execution of an intergovernmental agreement by and between the County of DuPage, Illinois, and the Village of Carroll Stream for the Klein Creek Stream Bank Stabilization Section 3 project.
Yes.
That is resolution number 3262. Now, this next resolution is a replacement resolution to correct a Scrivener's error. Did you want to speak on that?
Yes, I would like to read the revisions that were made to the resolution. The revisions were made to Section 1, which should read, "The license for a multi-use pathway from the Chicago Central and Pacific Railroad Company is hereby approved, and the mayor of the Village of Carroll Stream is hereby authorized to execute the license in the appropriate form as attached here too." And then Section 2 was revised to read, "The proposed stipulation with respect to the petition of the Village of Carroll Stream for Illinois Commerce Commission approval of a multi-use bike and pedestrian path is hereby approved, and the village attorney is authorized to file the proposed stipulation as attached hereto with the Illinois Commerce Commission." And then Section 2 would then be renumbered to Section 3. So those are the changes that were made.
Yes.
The board says yes for that?
Yes.
So that is resolution number 3263. New business, sound amplification permit, Carroll Stream Parks Foundation, approval of a sound amplification permit and waiver of the fee for the Groundskeeper Games event to be held at the Ross Ferraro Town Center on July 22nd, 2022.
Yes.
Yes.
Sound amplification permit, My Child's Life Matters, Inc., approval of a sound amplification permit and waiver of the fee for the Ride for John event to be held at the Ross Ferraro Town Center on July 30th, 2022.
Yes.
Yes.
Raffle license application, My Child's Life Matters, Inc., approval of a raffle license and waiver of the fee and manager's fidelity bond for the raffle to be held at the Ross Ferraro Town Center on July 30th, 2022.
Yes.
Yes.
Sound amplification permit, Vet Bros Pet Education Charitable Fund, approval of a sound amplification permit and waiver of the fee for the charity dog show to be held at the Ross Ferraro Town Center on September 18th, 2022.
Yes.
Yes.
Raffle license application, Emerson Elementary School PTA, approval of a raffle license and waiver of the fee and manager's fidelity bond for their trivia night at the American Legion Post Number 76 on September 24th, 2022.
Yes.
Yes.
Payment of bills. Regular bills, June 21st, 2022 through July 5th, 2022.
Yes.
Yes.
Addendum warrants, June 21st, 2022 through July 5th, 2022.
Yes.
Yes.
Regular bills, July 6th, 2022 through July 18th, 2022.
Yes.
Yes.
Addendum warrants, July 6th, 2022 through July 18th, 2022.
Yes.
Treasurer's report, revenue, expenditure statements, and balance sheet for the month ended June 30th, 2022.
Received.
And that concludes the items on the consent agenda, Mayor.
Is there a motion to put those items on the consent agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by trustee Berger, seconded by trustee Zalick. Clerk, call the roll, please.
Trustee Berger.
Aye.
Trustee Garvey.
Aye.
Trustee Zalick.
Aye.
Trustee Gieser.
Aye.
Trustee McCarthy.
Aye.
There a motion to approve those items by omnibus vote?
So moved?
Second.
Moved by trustee McCarthy, seconded by trustee Garvey. Call the roll, please.
Trustee Berger.
Aye.
Trustee Garvey.
Aye.
Trustee Zalick.
Aye.
Trustee Gieser.
Aye.
Trustee McCarthy.
Aye.
I-2 was taken off by trustee Garvey.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, just to remain consistent with my objection to the video cafes in town, I want to be able to vote no on it, so I make no motion.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Moved by trustee McCarthy, seconded by trustee Gieser.
Yes.
Either one, whoever you want.
I got Trustee Gieser down there. All right, Trustee Berger.
Aye.
Trustee Garvey.
No.
Trustee Zalick.
Aye.
Trustee Gieser.
Aye.
Trustee McCarthy.
Aye.
And that passed as ordinance number 2022-07-35.
Very good. Let's see, we start with trustee Berger.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Grace, I just want to say welcome again. I came to this meeting early, not because they were handing out free Italian ice outside, but I wanted to be able to chat with you before the meeting, so glad we could start the conversation outside until the chief decided to take the floor and interrupt me, but to talk to you in here before the meeting. Look forward to seeing what you can accomplish in your role, and I'm personally very happy to see you there and doing that work. The 4th of July parade was my first since becoming a trustee. I had been in the parade, let's see, for the Park District swim team, for Cub Scouts, Boy Scouts. I helped out the GBN marching band. Might have been a few other things in there, maybe the club lacrosse team, I don't remember. But I've been in the parade multiple times, but that was my first time being there as a trustee. And it's a lot different when you're walking in there as a trustee. I felt like faces were coming out of the wall at me, you know, as we walked by. But it was a lot of fun, and, you know, and it was an honor to be there for the parade and to throw candy. I was on the trailer towards the end, and my goal was to get some candy to some of the people who are sitting further back. And we were getting closer to the end of the route, and I tried to throw some candy to the back, and I accidentally struck one of our officers with the candy. I just heard her yell real nice, and I put my hands behind my back. I was ready, I wasn't resisting, but I would just like to make my formal apology for hitting her with candy. Hopefully she took the candy.
Has the warrant been approved, Chief?
But it was a beautiful day, beautiful parade. My thanks to the parade committee and the staff and the volunteers and everybody that was involved with all the events for the day. Being a trustee, it just felt a little more special this year, and I really appreciated that. Then came the 4th of July, and that day turned out to be not so great with what happened in Highland Park with their parade, and it was hard not to just sit there with the news on and think about the contrast between our day and what happened in Highland Park, which was terrible. But I do understand that we did provide some help for Highland Park with officers and with the social services. I don't know, Chief, if there's any details that we can share behind that, or? Not really. He wasn't listening. Just kidding. But I'm glad that our staff was able to help out in Highland Park with what happened there. And with that, I will end my report.
Thank you, Trustee Butcher. Garvey.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. It's been some weeks since our last meeting, and there's been some achievements by members of the staff that I just want to bring attention to. First of all, congratulations to our newest officer, candidate Joshua Chornako, who was sworn in on July 5th. So welcome to our staff. Congratulations to Dave Norwell on his retirement from Public Works after 36 years. That's an achievement in itself. And congratulations to Carol Rebholz for her appointment to the IPBC Strategic Planning Committee, and to Jason Pauling from Public Works being named to the American Public Works Association Winter Maintenance Subcommittee. I think congratulations are due because this is recognition of other organizations and agencies and communities for the excellence of the staff that we have. Carol and Jason Pauling, just congratulations. And finally, my congratulations to Officer Pablo Castro for his recognition as the Illinois Dare Officer of the Year of 2021. Excellent, excellent work. Congratulations. And that's the end of my report.
Thank you, Trustee Garvey.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. First off, I know I spoke about Paul and Pablo, but yeah, Pablo, great job. The Dare Officer of the Year is quite an accomplishment. I mean, there are a lot of Dare officers, and well-deserved for all you do for the police department and this community. Grace, welcome aboard.
Yeah.
I might have time to change your views, but I know you're a North Sider fan, and we'll get along just fine. But welcome aboard, okay? On a darker note, suicide is a constant problem in our community. From the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, in 2020, suicide was the 12th leading cause of death in the United States. And the CDC says in 2020, almost 46,000 people lost their lives because of suicide. I just saw in the news that last Saturday, if you need to talk to somebody, or if you need any sort of help to talk to anybody, anything, they changed their number from the long 10-digit 800 number to 988. And so all you have to do is type in 988 on your telephone, and you'll reach the Suicide and Crisis Hotline. I believe I even heard on the news that you can text 988, and someone will answer your call or your text. So please, I just heard 3 CPD officers committed suicide in the last month alone. CSPD has handled 10 calls for service, mental crisis pertaining to so it's prevalent. Even when I was on the job, we'd go regularly to mental cases and people in crisis. So please, if you ever think of no, you're not wanted or you're not, worthy, please make the call to 988 and get the help you need, because you are needed and you are worth it. Also, thank you to our volunteers. They participated in active shooter training for our officers. I know Trustee Berger mentioned about the Highland Park, and if it wasn't for our volunteers being the bad guys and doing the active shooter training for our officers, we wouldn't be as prepared as we are. God forbid it ever happens here, but if it does, our officers are prepared. I know on the news, and it's still coming out, that they kind of waited to go in, and even when I was an officer, it was, you're there on the scene, you're going in, and you hear gunfire, you run to the gunfire. And so because of our volunteers who volunteer their time to get shot with simunitions, our officers are prepared to handle the situation. And then finally, keep our military and police and all first responders in your thoughts and prayers. They need it. And that concludes my report.
Thank you, Trustee.
You forgot your son's comment.
Covered a lot, thank you. Trustee Gieser.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. Trustee Zalik, I'm very happy you mentioned the 988 numbers. That's a very important thing, and I think it's something that we should be promoting so people do know that they aren't alone. There are services available.
And our social service, you
And
can, and if you're a resident, it's free, and they will come out 24/7.
Right.
So they're on call, so yeah.
Yes, and as Trustee Berger said, we had our staff of counselors up in Highland Park offering the services that they do so well. So thank you to them, and again, it's another example of cooperation and collaboration with other agencies throughout the state, so we know if we ever need it, we'll get the same assistance. I'd like to congratulate, as we have all, Pablo Castro and Paul Trippett for their continued efforts to engage and get closer to the youth of the village. But also, it's just a great opportunity for us to showcase the cooperation, as I said before, within our own village. Welcome to Grace. I did sit in a meeting with you, so welcome aboard. Glad you're here and look forward to working with you. Earlier this week, I was in this room with a group of students, a group of scouts from PAC 191, talking about local government, leadership, and community service. I know many of us have done this with various scouting groups throughout the years, but Mr. Mayor, hopefully you don't mind, the kids thought the greatest thing was they could pound the gavel. So they all got in to take pictures pounding the gavel. So, but congratulations and thank you to them. for wanting to learn a little bit more about how they can become better citizens. Coming up, we have the concert for the troops on July 21st. That's this Thursday. Tia, who's going to be the food vendor, and can you just give us a quick rundown of what we can expect? Anything different from past years?
Well, we're quite excited to have our annual concert for the troops back. We will have Rocco Vinos, Rotary Beer Garden, and Culver's Frozen Custard. We'll also be doing a 50-50 raffle to raise money to support Operation Support Our Troops. And of course, we're going to have fan favorite band, Seventh Heaven, out at Town Center. And I just want to remind everybody that all of these events all season, they're not possible without our sponsors and our volunteers. And we're really fortunate to have such a wonderful community that comes together to make sure that we can have just a wonderful summer and have events like this where we can show our support for our military and service members.
Thank you very much. And finally, Trustee Berger talked about the parade. I want to personally thank the parade committee. I'm one of the people who organized the parade, but I want to actually thank all the members of the committee for their efforts and their hard work throughout the year to make this possible. I don't know about the other trustees and mayor and staff who were there, but it seemed like an extra large, an extra special, it seemed to be some extra energy this year. People were just thrilled to gather together and celebrate Independence Day. So thank you to all of they're all local residents who are involved in that. Also, I'd like to thank some of our partners, the Village of Carroll Stream, thank you, our Public Works Department, our Police Department, the Park District always lets us use their parking lot, so thank you, and then the local businesses and service organizations that make donations to help make it possible. So thank you very much, and that is my report.
Thank you, Trustee Gieser, and before we get to the next one, wonderful job.
Thank you. Thank you.
Trustee McCarthy.
I wasn't able to attend the parade, but I know the work that goes in behind it, and
We're a long time.
that whole group does a ton of work, and it's not just a day or a month. I mean, it's a year-round meet a minute, once a month, and start organizing. They're probably meeting, my guess is within the next 3 weeks to go over what the goods and the bads, and to start planning for next year. And the thing is, even in a great parade, they sit down and they figure out, well, how can we improve it? How can we make it just a little bit better? And how can we always make sure to make it safe? I mean, whether it's kids trying to get the candy and running out a little too close to everything, or making sure there's enough, on a hot day, making sure there's enough water. I mean, simple things like that, all the way up to what happens if. And unfortunately, now they're going to have to talk about what happens if.
Well, Trustee McCarthy, we will be meeting with the police department coming up, just so we can reassure the public that
Absolutely.
things are being thought of, things are being planned.
And so they do a great job, so thank you to them. And to hear such positive about that, and then 2 days later, what happened in Highland Park, and whether it's Highland Park or whether it's a mall in Indiana or downtown Chicago for no reason, this has got to stop. Thoughts and prayers aren't doing it. But the other thing is, the people in charge have got to actually do something and not just jump up and down on TV or in the newspapers saying, well, we're going to fix this. You guys have had a ton of time to fix this, and nothing's come out. So, if we're supposed to expect our federal government and our state governments to protect us, then they're going to have to do something, not just talk about it and find a way to spin it into a political fight. Fix it, period. Grace, welcome. As I said before, Pablo and Paul, both of you, congratulations, and Public Works and Police, thank you, just like every department we have in this village, for finding ways to work together and cooperate and make our village even better. With the concert for the troops coming up, Tia, I've said it about 5 times, and I'm going to keep saying, what a fantastic job this year, really. I've heard nothing but positive. I love the idea that you threw some stuff out there, and I thought a couple of them I scratched my head a little bit, and now everything's working just fine, and you're doing a wonderful job with it, so thank you very much. Sponsors of our events, without them, we're not there, so that's a big deal. And of course, the support of just everybody coming out and enjoying it is, you don't know how good that makes everybody up here feel after the last few years. Even last year when we did kind of a toned-down concert season, it was nice to get out, but every time we'd walk off stage, we'd go, yeah, but it's not the same. Now it's the same, or even better, So, again, thank you, and if you haven't been out yet, get out on a Thursday night. It is a blast, it's a ton of fun, the kids have fun, and it's just a great family environment that you can just sit back and enjoy yourself.
Get there early this Thursday.
Yeah, and get there early this Thursday. Besides that, more than anything else, just, it's summer, kids are out everywhere, slow down, look around, crosswalks are there for a reason. If there's somebody in it, stop your car. And bicyclists, you gotta pay attention to cars too. If you're driving down the street, make sure you know your surroundings. I've had a number of adult bicyclists basically turn in front of me because they think they're in a bike, so they get to do what they want. So I think we all gotta be a little bit more aware of our surroundings, as always, and just be a little bit more careful, because I don't want anything bad to happen to anybody. That's the end of my report.
Thank you, Trustee McCarthy. Tia, do you have something?
I'd just like to reiterate my gratitude for the board, our volunteers, and our sponsors for all of these events. I'm, of course, looking forward to our Concert for the Troops this Thursday and wrapping up our summer event season on Thursday the 28th with Shining Star, which will be an Earth, Wind, and Fire tribute band. And I'm just grateful that we get to do this and be together and celebrate together again this year.
Thank you. Madam Clerk? Julie?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I too wanted to congratulate Paul from Public Works, I don't think he's here anymore, and Officer Castro on the Blue Scoop Mobile. What a great idea to build that camaraderie with the kids in the area. Also, for us, Officer Castro becoming the DARE Officer of the Year for 2021, that's a huge accomplishment, so we're so lucky to have these guys with us. Also, welcome, Grace, to Carroll Stream. Nice to have you. I'm sure Tia is extremely thrilled to have your assistance. She works very hard, so she can use the help. Thank you, Trustee Geiser and the parade committee. It was a really wonderful parade. And for Highland Park, I'm so appreciative that we have social services and police officers that were able to go to Highland Park to assist with counseling. Even though those people will be scarred forever, the little bit that our folks could do to help out is a godsend. So really grateful for our police and social services doing that. Thank you, Tia, again, for setting up all these great concerts this summer. They've been very well attended. I think everybody's having a great time. Hope to see everyone at Concert for the Troops this Thursday. One thing I'd like to add about that is don't forget, if you haven't already purchased a brick for the Veterans Memorial Park Plaza there, the veterans, our VFW is there at every concert, and they will especially be there for Concert for the Troops, signing people up. So if you would like to purchase a brick and have your family name, you know, there representing our, you know, supporting our veterans, you can do that at the Concert for the Troops. They're signing people up for that. So put your family name, it'll be there forever. And also wanted to thank Joe Cotton Ford and Tracy Kahn over there at Joe Cotton Ford for the wonderful USO barbecue for the troops they had on Saturday. It was a lot of fun, great food, met a lot of nice people. I even met one veteran I did not know who says he's a friend of yours, Mayor. And he has this huge military vehicle that he had parked at the Joe Cotton Ford. He calls it the Deuce and a Half, and he offered to bring it for the Concert for the Troops this Thursday. So if that's okay, I'll talk to Tia about where we might park that thing. And he said it's fun. He has a ladder on the back that kids can climb up and explore it. So we can talk about that later. But it was a great event at Joe Cotton Ford, and my husband's already talking to Tracy about his next Ford F-150 being an EV. So that brings me to my conclusion, which is please shop Carroll Stream. And that's all I have.
You need a new truck when you get in as many parades as.
I know, it'll be a couple of years.
I bet you're kind of happy all the parades are over with.
Yes, we were in 6 this year, so, yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Rhodes, our village attorney.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I have just a couple of items for information. Within the federal infrastructure law that was passed in 2021, there was $148 million that was earmarked to the state of Illinois for electric vehicle infrastructure. And the Illinois Department of Transportation has developed an electric vehicle infrastructure plan, which is available either on the IDOT website or by going and Googling Illinois Electric Vehicle Infrastructure Plan. So if anybody wants information about that plan, they can get it one of those two ways. IDOT is looking for input from anybody who wants to provide it after reviewing the plan, so I wanted to get that out there. And then also, the state of Illinois passed the Climate and Equitable Jobs Act, and within that act, there's a goal of having 100% clean energy in the state of Illinois by 2050. And so as part of that, the Illinois Commerce Commission has also released their first draft of their Renewable Energy Access Plan, which is available on their website and also available by Googling the Illinois Renewable Energy Access Plan. They are also looking for input from individuals with respect to what that plan is, and they will be revising that first draft within the next couple of months, and they're looking at actually adopting a plan sometime at either the end of 2022 or at the beginning of 2023. So those are just two items for informational purposes. One of the things that I did want to mention, Trustee Zalick talked about the crisis hotline. I think it's important that everybody recognize that you don't need to have suicidal thoughts to call that hotline. It's for anyone having any type of emotional distress. They can call, and as Trustee Zalick said, you can text into 988, and they will text you back, and they will provide you with information. They'll provide you, they'll try to get in contact with you if need be. But it's a brand-new program, and they're hoping that it's really going to have a tremendous impact on lessening the issues with respect to mental health in the state of Illinois. My congratulations to Paul Triplett and Officer Castro, and also welcome to Grace. Hope you have a interesting time here while you're at the Village of Carroll Stream. In a good way. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Rhodes. Mr. Meller, our village manager.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Several residents have asked about the town center fountain and why it's not up and running this year. I've met several of you at the concerts. Basically, the fountain's over 2 decades old. It was beginning to leak. We're losing water, which we have to pay the Water Commission for, and requires some extensive maintenance. So the village's contractor began work this morning setting up for sandblasting. So if you happen to pass by it, you can see a large tent over the fountain to prevent the sandblasting material from escaping. So they'll be starting the sandblasting this week. That'll be followed by concrete repairs and sealing. Phase 2 of the fountain improvements will include electrical pumps and motors with hopes of having it back online by next summer, depending on availability of parts and supplies. So it's required maintenance. We don't want to lose any more water going through the fountain that's not due to evaporation or being blown out into the street. And just a comment on the internship program. One of the important components of the NIU Public Administration program is not only fulfilling the academic requirements of the program, but also the practical real-world experiences of the profession, which includes an internship serving a government or public institution. Joe Carey served as an intern for the Village of Deerfield. Assistant to the village manager, Tia Messino, served as an intern for the Village of Hoffman Estates. And many, many, many years ago, I served as an intern for the Village of Mundelein. So we all got our start that way, and that's part of the NIU internship program. It's a very well-run program, nationally known. And we're very happy to have Grace working with us and hope to educate her on the administration and politics of local government, and perhaps she can teach us a few things along the way as well. So thank the board again. Thank you for providing budget approval, and that's all I have.
That's it?
That's it.
Covered a lot. Thank you, Mr. Meller. Paul Triplett, thank you. He's gone, but we've all thanked him. Downstairs, we thanked him, and I thank him again. Pablo Castro, I can't say enough about. I've been to so many DARE commencements with him, as many of us have up here. The kids love him. They trust him. They feel comfortable around him. And that says eons for our police department, because those are the people, the young people, that are our future. We have to look at them as being our future. And it's important that we're able to communicate with them the way he does, in a way that I've never seen done before. When I first took over as mayor, I remember my first, I think it was Jay Stream, with Officer Ranweiler and Wells were the two DARE officers at the time. And I'm the mayor, and I'm standing there, and every kid that went by said, "Hello, Officer Wells. Hello, Officer Ranweiler." Nobody said nothing to me. I'm the mayor. It's like, but I got it. It sunk right in, that the respect that those kids had for those officers as their DARE officers will probably never go away. And that's why we keep our DARE program going, why we'll keep it funded, and why it's so important. The young people are our future. If we can get to the young people, maybe this world, as we mentioned, some people up here today, how screwed up this world is, maybe we can make it better, but it's gonna be that generation that's gonna have to make that better, this one that's coming up. We talked a little bit about Highland Park. My wife's brother lives in Highland Park. That's, needless to say, she's been under a lot of strain, and then even more strain, because they're very active in their community, but they weren't there, which is a good thing. Feel very bad about what happened there. I know Trustee McCarthy started to get into some of the things, but it's just a different world that we live in today, and we have to be very vigilant wherever we are and what we're doing. And you're seeing more and more, there's more and more people out there that just feel like they're being left out. I'm gonna say this and go out on a limb, that in this community, you'll never have to feel like you're being left out. We have a great social service department, we have a great staff, we have a great police department, we have, social services has been, how long, 30 years we've had social service?
Oh, longer than that.
35
Yeah.
years? I mean, we were
At least
so far
50, yeah.
way before my time. I can't take credit for it. Maybe you were here then. But to have a social service department for as long as we have, some of these towns are just really starting to put a social service department in. And it's in a newspaper, oh, they put well, we've had 3 of them for a long time. And we're proud of that. And I know I see the calls, the police calls, and it's like more and more times where they intervene and go in with the police because of its domestic violence or whatever it might be. Anything that we could get involved in to kind of bring it down and de-escalate it before it gets bad. And that's a great thing. I know it's good for the police department to work with social services, but it's great for the people that live in this community to know that that's available. And that's very important. I want to thank everybody for all the prayers for my wife. My wife had some very, very hectic things happen this last week. I kind of took myself off the grid completely. Some of the trustees actually called me and were praying on the phone, and went to the hospital and prayed in the parking lot, and I can't tell you how much that means to me. She was last Sunday, she was very, very, very ill, very ill. Thank the fire department. I have to say, the fire department came to the house on an emergency call early in the morning, grabbed her, threw her in the ambulance, and took her straight to the hospital. Very fortunate to have her. I took her home yesterday, very sick, but she's home, which is a good thing. So, but I want to thank everybody. Those that don't pray, that's fine, but those that do pray, thank you. I appreciate it. Our priest was up there with her, and I think everything helps. Everything has a way of helping, so, but I appreciate it. All the well wishes from everybody. Thank you, all of you. So with that, we have nothing, no closed session or anything, so I need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by trustee McCarthy, seconded by trustee Garvey. Clerk, call the roll, please.
Trustee Berger.
Aye.
Trustee Garvey.
Aye.
Trustee Zalick.
Aye.
Trustee Gieser.
Aye.
Trustee McCarthy.
Aye.
Meeting's adjourned.